All right, guys, I just want to let you know this is going to be a very long video because I got two videos of CJAC talking about SmackDown and The Rock and the Cody segment. So that's why it's going to be a little bit longer. But the reason why is because he has an idea at the end of what could happen for Cody and The Rock and Roman Reigns for WrestleMania 41. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the video where he speaks about SmackDown. And we're also going to speak about, his theory and his prediction of what's going to happen with WrestleMania with The Rock and Cody and Roman Reigns. So let's get started with the SmackDown one, and then we'll get to the prediction. All right. So let's go ahead and get started.
Now who's hot? Who's not? You tell me who rock, who sell out the stores. You tell me who flop, who cop the blue drop, who just got socks, who just ruined WrestleMania, who just cut one of the worst promos of all time. The Rock. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? After every single thing that has taken place in this Mania season, the final boss has come out here and cut one of the worst promos of all time. Everything was riding on this promo, right? Mania 41 season is garbage. Okay, spoiler alert. It sucks. Many fans are saying it. I'm saying it, of course, because I agree with it. And at the end of the day, there's nothing that was there. There's nothing there to look forward to, And now we have The Rock, who's going to come out here later tonight, right? And this is the only thing that really matters. And quite frankly, this is all that I'm going to probably talk about. I'm going to skim through the rest of what happened on this garbage episode and proceed to talk about this promo, because this was one of the most sus, Diddy-esque promos of all time. The only thing that was missing from this promo was 1,000 cans of baby oil. The Rock comes out and basically talks about, oh, I'm going to elevate you. If you do this for me, I'm going to put you on a high pedestal. What kind of guy says that? Except for, the one guy, the DIDDY guy. You know what I'm saying? That's it. This is ridiculous. I'm gonna put you on a higher pedestal. I respect you. I love you. Everyone just glazes each other. The Rock came out there and glazed Cody Rhodes for like 20 minutes and then proceeded to basically tell him, I don't want that, brother. I don't want your belt. I want your soul. I want your soul. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? We're going to talk about this later in the review, and it's not going to be that much later because we are going to skim through, right, the rest of this episode, which was largely garbage. I'm recording this video right after The Rock did his promo because, quite frankly, I don't really care about Solo and Jacob Fatu versus Damian Priest and Braun Strowman. You know what I'm saying? And basically, the what's it called? What was the other match even in there? I think DIY is fighting. Nobody cares. Let's start off with what was first, which was Cody Rhodes and Nick Aldis. Cody Rhodes is backstage basically asking Nick Aldis, why did you pull me out of the 3v3 tag match that I was going to have later tonight? And Nick Aldis is like, well, the final boss's orders, you can't be in the match because he wants to see you in the ring later tonight. The last moments before disaster, you know what I mean? Then we get Drew McIntyre versus Jimmy Uso. Drew McIntyre is officially over with. There's nothing to say about this match other than the fact that Jimmy Uso rolled up Drew McIntyre and pinned him clean inside of the ring, which basically means that in the span of 1 month, Jey Uso has beat Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins has beat Drew McIntyre, Jimmy Uso has now pinned Drew McIntyre, and next week at the Elimination Chamber, he's probably going to get pinned by either Logan Paul or Damian Priest in the chamber to get eliminated. You know what I'm saying? It's over. Drew McIntyre is done. He comes out there and just says the same thing every week. I can't stop thinking about Punk. I hate this person. I hate that person. You're pissing me off. I can't believe you have done this to me, man. The system keeps holding me back. And then he proceeds to lose to a jobber. So don't give me any of this garbage anymore. Drew McIntyre, for all the talent and greatness that he showed in 2024 and in 2023, et cetera, and now all of a sudden he's sitting here doing absolutely nothing. Losing to Jimmy Uso. So I'm absolutely embarrassed. Then we had Mello Don't Miz, which is a pretty cool name. I actually like this match. Probably my favorite part of the entire night. Mello Don't Miz comes out there, Carmelo Hayes and the Miz, and they fight R-Truth and his special guest partner, Louisiana's own LA Knight, right? He basically calls him Louisiana Knight because, LA is the abbreviation for Louisiana, So, there you have it, right? Pretty funny. R-Truth is hilarious, and he is absolutely awesome. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the gimmick of him being stupid just kind of gets overblown, but this tonight I thought it was actually pretty funny. All the antics, him tagging in the Miz because of Awesome Truth and going along with the gimmick. It was a very entertaining situation that R-Truth put this match in, and quite frankly, I think Melo and Miz actually have decent chemistry and similar characters, which could work for them potentially having a tag team championship run, which the tag team division would 100% need it. So, there you have that. I think this was cool. LA Knight got hit in the back of the head by Shinsuke Nakamura, and then Miz came in the ring and basically pinned R-Truth from a skull-crushing finale into the first 42 codebreaker move that Carmelo Hayes does. Really cool moment. They both vied for the spotlight after raising their hands after the match. Pretty cool. I enjoyed this part of the show. Then we had Tiffany Stratton, who brought the show back down to earth and cut a garbage promo. All she basically said is, "It's Tiffy time, and I'm the girl of WWE." And I'm like, dude, just stop. Tiffany Stratton speaks in such, no offense, right? No offense. But the character, right? Tiffany Stratton, the character she's playing and overhyping, she plays it very annoyingly, right? She speaks like a very annoying, just very nagging voice. And I know she's trying to play like some bratty, blonde girl, but it's just not working. It's frankly annoying. It just is. And she's not saying anything in the promos that's really hard hitting or good or, investing you in the story between her and Charlotte, because Charlotte has sat on commentary tonight and was literally, there's just awkward pauses of silence in between what she was saying because Wade Barrett didn't know how to respond to her, right? What is Charlotte Flair even saying, Besides absolutely nothing, of course. So then we have Candice LeRae versus Tiffany Stratton. Nia Jax cut a promo before this, but, nobody cares about that. Nia Jax, literally, I counted it. She copied, literally the same thing she was saying. She repeated it, 6 times, so nobody cares. Candice LeRae ends up losing to Tiffany Stratton. After the match, Trish Stratus comes out to help Tiffany against Nia and Candice LeRae, and then they beat the crap out of them. Nia Jax basically hits the Annihilator on Tiffy and what's her name, and Trish Stratus, and we're going to have a tag match next week in an Elimination Chamber with, with Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus versus Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. No one cares about this. It's going to be a waste of time. Charlotte then proceeds to point to the Mania sign while standing over Tiffany Stratton, and that's the end of the segment. Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton have done absolutely nothing to elevate this feud because Tiffany can't cut promos and tell stories, and Charlotte Flair can barely cut promos and tell stories anymore. So there you have that. They're just going to have to hope that this match is amazing when it actually happens at Mania, because the build-up for it will suck. All you're hoping with this match is that maybe it's good or great like the one with Rhea and Charlotte a couple years ago, but if not, it is what it is. The build-up's going to suck. Maybe the match will be good. I doubt it. Tiffany was botching multiple moves in tonight's match, and her moment with Candice LeRae was actually pretty mediocre in my opinion. You could even make the argument it's a bad match.
Hey, man, it's better than Liv Morgan versus Naomi. I mean, we don't want to see that shit on repeat. Hell no. So I felt like it was rightfully booked because honestly, I'd rather see Tiffany versus Candice than Liv Morgan versus Naomi. So I thought I'll give it an A for effort, and A for booking. Yeah.
Then we have a Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez came out and basically beat the crap out of Naomi and Bianca Belair, obviously doing this to speed up and get into the Rock, the Rock segment, which was absolute garbage. So speaking of this, Liv Morgan and obviously, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez beat them up to set up the tag team championship match that's going to happen on Monday on Raw. Now, let's get into the main event of the show. The final boss, The Rock, comes out and basically, the crowd is electric, right? Crowd is absolutely losing their minds. Everyone's excited, Rocky. I was excited going into this promo, right? And then The Rock basically gets on the mic and, he says, finally! And then obviously New Orleans finishes the saying for him. And then he basically makes the announcement that Mania 42 will be taking place in New Orleans. Obviously because of the recent reports and everything over the last week or two, we already knew this was going to happen, right? Or it was at least very likely that Mania 42 was headed to New Orleans. So, cool for the city of New Orleans. Congratulations. You just had the Super Bowl. Shout out to my birds. You know what I'm saying? Eagles. E-A-G-L-E-S. Eagles. You know what I'm saying? I had to slide that in there, but you get the point, right? The Saints are going to, or no, sorry, not the Saints. The New Orleans, Superdome is going to have the Mania 42. So there you have it. Then The Rock starts singing, when the Saints come marching in, I'm the final Diddy, you know what I'm saying? The final Diddy comes out here and basically says that he has another gift for New Orleans. And then he proceeds to call out Cody Rhodes, and we get one of the worst segments of all time. Just to give some context into this actual, situation that we're getting here tonight, right? This Mania 41 season is garbage. There's no stories to look forward to. Gunther versus Jey Uso has no hype. Charlotte versus Tiffany is poorly built, as the reasons already, talked about, right? Roman Reigns has no whereabouts on what he's going to be doing for Mania 41, so that takes a big element from it. Cena's not showing up to build this Mania or build any feuds or stories at all. CM Punk has barely been showing up. What's his name? Drew McIntyre's a jobber, and then that's pretty much it. Seth Rollins, nobody cares what he does, right? He always is a fill-in match at Mania, except for last year. He's always a fill-in guy. If I need to go fight for the IC belt, I'll go do that. If he needs to go fight a meaningless match versus like Gunther for literally nothing, he'll do that. You know, if he has to go fit in and fight Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental title, he'll go do that. You know, he's a fit-in guy. So nobody cares. Unless he's fighting Roman Reigns in a feud for Mania 41, nobody cares about what he's doing. So basically, there's nothing to look forward to with Mania, and Rhea Ripley barely shows up too. So there you have that. This promo was supposed to reinvigorate hype for Mania. We were all supposed to be excited following this promo, and we were all supposed to be extremely curious as to what was going to happen next. And at the end of the day, I walked out personally being absolutely disappointed, and the crowd sounded disappointed too. There was moments where they were booing, they had mixed reactions, but basically what it boils down to is The Rock in 2025, after the great promos he had last year, came out and cut a Cody Rhodes promo. He told Cody Rhodes, over the last year, since we've been fighting at Mania 40, we've become great friends. The Rock is your buddy, and The Rock is your friend, and we love each other. We've grown up friends. You were at the Moana premiere, and the crowd is just clearly disinterested in this garbage. The Rock is talking about absolute stuff that, quite frankly, in terms of WWE and wrestling, means nothing. Nobody cares what Moana 2 did at the box office. Nobody cares about you and Cody's pictures, and The Rock even brings up the fact that him and Cody were having libations backstage at Raw on Netflix. Are you kidding me? You know, and then this is when it really got off the rails. The Rock literally tells Cody Rhodes approximately 7 times, you're a great champ. You're a great champ. You're a great champ. You've been carrying this company on your back. You're a great champ. You're a great champ. You know you're a great champ. You've been a great champ. You're a great champ. You're a great champ. Are you kidding me? This is what The Rock has come out here to do? After the phenomenal Mania 40 build, to the phenomenal Mania 40 PLE itself, and he's now out here to remind us of something that's not even true. Cody Rhodes has been a garbage champ. Bad matches, right? Or not bad matches, sorry. Bad stories, bad promos, bad storytelling in mid matches for the most part. Solo versus Cody was mid. You know what I'm saying? Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes was decent at best. Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens at Saturday Night Main Event was mid. Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens at Royal Rumble, I thought, was mid. And so what is there to talk about here? He had one good match versus AJ Styles, and that's it? That's all he's required to do now to be considered a great champ? Who's done nothing. He hasn't been the best on the mic. He hasn't been the best in the ring. He sure as heck isn't even wrestling with his 7 title defenses in 350 days. So what has he done? You know, the dude just had a record low viewership last week. You know, with him as your main champion, your main draw of your show, and SmackDown has the lowest rating it's seen in years. Like, literally, it might be literally the lowest rating ever, actually, now that I think about it. I think it was, you know? And that's why The Rock was here. It should have just been a simple thing. If The Rock isn't going to be at Mania 41, have him come out there and basically cut a generic Rock promo and say something along the lines of, you know what, guys, I'm going to try, you know, he drops a couple one-liners on Roman or, you know, Roman and Cody, and then he proceeds to say Mania 42 is coming to New Orleans, and then he leaves. Even though that would have been disappointing, anything would have been better than what we got here. The Rock continues to call him a great champ as the crowd's booing and giving mid-reactions, and then he proceeds to tell Cody, I want you to be my champ. I'll elevate you to heights you've never seen. And he proceeds to put his hand out in the motion of elevating in levels of heights. You know what I'm saying? He's like, heights, heights. I'll elevate you to here. You're down here. I want to be here. You're down here. I want to be here. It was very evident that The Rock literally had nothing to say, right? Because he came out there and basically repeated himself and had nothing to do but to go out there and glaze Cody Rhodes over and over and over and over and over again and give us a Diddy promo. Just a straight glaze. You know what I'm saying? Like I said earlier, the only thing this promo was missing was 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Because if he's just going to go out there and glaze Cody Rhodes for 30 minutes, then what's the point? You might as well have just played all of Diddy's greatest hits. You know what I'm saying? More money, more problems, right? More Rock, more problems. You know, it's sad that I'm saying this because he just did such an amazing job with Mania 40. But dang, this was just such a stupid promo. You know what I'm saying? It was just so stupid. The final Diddy comes out there and does what he does best and just absolutely glazes the competition. That's all it is. He literally pulled a Diddy and just started glazing everything. You know, Drake is amazing. Meek Mill is amazing. You know what I'm saying? Justin Bieber is amazing. Usher is amazing. I can't wait to hang out with Usher. You know, like, what are you doing? You know, Cody Rhodes, I love you. I appreciate you. I respect. What are you doing? Cut a promo. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to hear about how much you love Cody Rhodes and how much you respect him and how much you know what I'm saying? You love Cody Rhodes. And then The Rock proceeds to bring up the fact that he has more Instagram followers than Cody Rhodes. He's the most followed Instagram person in the US. I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? What is this promo even turned into? You know? It's just a bunch of absolute and utter nonsense. And then he proceeds to basically say that when Cody Rhodes slapped him, right, it made The Rock gain respect for Cody Rhodes because Cody Rhodes took his main event back as he had earned, and The Rock respected that. And then The Rock basically looks at Cody after Cody Rhodes responds basically in this promo with, "I'm not your champ, I want to be their champ." You know what I'm saying? And The Rock is like, "The one thing I've always looked for is a brother." So you mean to tell me that in Roman Reigns' 4-year championship reign, where he's undisputedly been carrying the company now for the better part of a decade, and you mean to tell me that you never came back and said, "Hey Roman, I want you to be my champion. I want you to be my brother," you know? But now Cody Rhodes, a guy who you were just beating the crap out of and brought in the reign last year and destroying him at Mania, now all of a sudden you want him to be a brother. Are you kidding me? None of this makes any sense. It's convoluted, and you can always tell when they have nothing planned for The Rock, and when The Rock has nothing planned, when he comes out there and repeats himself over and over and over again. He has the same repetition of the same lines, I should say, inside of his promos. And the whole narrative that's brought up in this promo of the fact that, "Oh, Cody, I'm going to give you dreams. I'm going to elevate you to heights. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that." The whole Cody Rhodes story since he came back to WWE was winning the championship that his dad was never able to hold, right? Winning the WWE championship, toppling Roman Reigns in the bloodline and defeating The Rock, all that stuff was all his story. That was his journey. That was the climax of Cody Rhodes' career. So how in the world does he go from doing that officially and finally getting that done at Mania 40, the biggest stage of them all, right? And now all of a sudden The Rock is going to somehow give him dreams he's never had? His whole dream and his whole story was to win the WWE belt, and he did it. So what does he have to do now? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just, this whole thing just doesn't make any sense at all, right? I'm losing my voice even talking about this stuff because I've shouted too much at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just getting crazy, but yeah, you know? So this is just absolutely disappointing. And then he proceeds to grab Cody's face in one of the most sus scenes of all time. The Rock, like, grabs Cody's face and he's like, "Cody, I want you to be my champion, and I want you to be my brother, and I want you to tell your mama, tell your wife, tell your daughter that The Rock is going to take you to heights you've never seen before, and you're going to be my champion and be on the top of the wrestling industry and on the top of the world." And then at the end of this, The Rock basically says, "Think about it," taps him on the shoulder, squeezes his face like he's his son, and then proceeds to walk away. And the camera literally just cuts to black, and that's what you get from The Rock. The Rock announces, by the way, before this, though, that he will be at Mania at the Chamber next weekend in order to talk to Cody Rhodes and basically see where his head's at on this new idea. And at this point, I'm absolutely disgusted in The Rock. I'm disgusted. There's nothing to say about this anymore, man. After the phenomenal work he did last year with Roman and with Cody and with Rollins and everything, and now you snoop down to this? To this? Are you kidding me? You know? This is absolutely embarrassing, and there is no excuses for this at all. Absolutely no excuses. You know, there's no way that they can possibly recover from this. The Rock should have been a character that was sitting in the sidelines, causing people like Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa and you know, even potentially if they wanted to make Paul Heyman turn against Roman as well, making these people turn against Roman and just run rampant in the WWE and try and turn against Cody and take his belt. The Rock should have been the con man behind it all. And then at the end, when he reveals, when Roman Reigns beat Solo at Mania, or at January 6th Raw, the premiere, after that happened, he should have put the Ulafala on Roman's neck and then rock bottomed him. And then put on his own Ulafala as the High Chief versus the Tribal Chief, and we should have been building to Mania 41, Rock versus Roman. The Rock could have been the final boss, the final mafia boss of this new...
Now, I will say this, though. If you guys are listening to the video, don't think that this is over, because he do have a video where he comes up with a prediction where this could go well if it goes the way he predicted it. So stick to the end, and you'll see that he has a great prediction for The Rock and Roman and Cody. So if you guys could just stick around just so he can, you know, give his prediction on it, that would be great. Because like I said, the only reason I'm doing 2 videos is because I just figured since I'm already late, you know, I might as well just smush it together and just see if we could come up with it. I think it's really dope, you know, like I said, he's speaking about SmackDown, and then he start to break down what could happen for WrestleMania 41 if this go according to plan. So, like I said, let's just stick around and see what he's gonna predict for this, and hopefully you guys can stick to the end so that way we can, you know, you can give your thoughts on this. If you want to give your thoughts to this video too, that's good, but still, you know, stick around for the prediction. All right, so Let's keep going.
Bloodline group who had them turning on and going crazy in WWE, and then eventually, right, he's the guy who's revealed to be putting hits out, right, for Solo to go to attack Cody, or putting hits out for Fatu to go attack Roman, things of that nature. And it would have built a great story that we would have been hyped for. But unfortunately, we're not going to get that. And now what? Cody accepts the deal, let's say, and then we're going to get him and The Rock teaming up, just to build up for Roman to potentially beat him, right? Or the person who wins the chamber is going to be fighting Cody. What sense does it make now to have CM Punk or Cena or Logan Paul or Rollins or Priest or McIntyre fight Cody for the WWE Championship anymore? It means nothing. Nothing. So I have nothing to say about this anymore, man. This promo was absolute and utter garbage. And considering the significance that this promo needed to actually reinvigorate and reinstall hype inside of Mania season, because this Mania season sucks, it didn't do any of that. It disappointed us. It was weird, very strange. The crowd was booing and had mid-reactions, and I expect this promo to get mid-reactions and bad reactions in general from most fans on the internet going forward. So there you have it. I genuinely am just in shock at this point with what The Rock was able to cook up, right? The Rock is cooking. No, the final Diddy is diddying. So there you have it. I think this promo solidified basically multiple different things. It solidified 5 things that I just thought of while making this video. Number 1, Cody Rhodes is one of the worst champions of all time. Number 2, right, this roster being quote unquote the most stacked of all time, allegedly, right? This roster is so elite, it's so stacked. Why in the world is everyone hoping for a 50-something-year-old man like The Rock to come back and save us then? If the roster's so talented, they're in their primes, they're young, they're talented, they're this, they're that, but The Rock is the one who's being counted on again for the 2nd year in a row to help save Mania. Are you kidding me? You know what I'm saying? Like, stop. So the roster sucks. That's the second point. The third point is that Mania 41 is officially dead until further notice. Then the fourth point, of course, is that SmackDown permanently sucks. There's no intrigue, there's no hype, and there's nothing to care about going forward with the show. And the fifth point is that The Rock is now officially not the final boss. He's the final Diddy. Now, let's move on. Now, nothing really matters after this, right? So we can skip through the rest of this absolute garbage that took place. The Street Profits basically came out and interrupted the DIY versus Pretty Deadly match. Nobody cares about this. The Street Profits now are official jobbers. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing to say about this anymore. They're just like Drew McIntyre and Rollins. Complain, get booked horribly, and then lose. So there you have that. Nobody cares. And then you also have a Kevin Owens promo that was absolutely boring. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not going to lie. It wasn't like a terrible promo or anything like that, but it's the same stuff. You know, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, why are we still doing this? It's boring, it's old, nobody cares about it anymore. So what? You know, Kevin Owens is upset with Sami, Sami's upset with KO. They're going to fight it out next week and see who the better man is. No one cares. Then we have, after this, we basically have a situation where the main event's taking place. It's Damian Priest and Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa obviously lose. They're going to have some dissension going forward, and they're going to be at odds going forward, and that's pretty much that. Other than that, there's nothing else.
I do like that match, by the way. I ain't gonna lie. That was a really great match with Damian Priest and Braun Strowman. That was good. That was good.
To speak of on the SmackDown. At the end of the day, the only thing that needs to be spoken of about this episode of SmackDown is the simple reality and the simple truth that this Mania season is done. The Rock was brought back for a cheap pop and for a cheap ratings boost because last week's SmackDown had record low ratings, so they had to find a way to try and reinvigorate the hype and the excitement. But the truth is that you're not going to reinvigorate hype and excitement unless you're doing Rock versus Roman with Rock as a heel and Roman maybe as a face. You know, and that's it. That's the only way this is going to work. And it's as simple as that. Until we see that match, none of this stuff matters, you know? So I don't care about this episode. It's getting a 1 out of 10. This is mainly a rant about what happened with the Rock segment because that's all that matters. SmackDown is dead, and there's nothing else to speak of.
I wouldn't give it a 1 out of 10. I would probably give it a 6 just because there were some good matches in there. I mean, I did like that match with Braun Strowman and Damian Priest teaming up against Jacob and Solo. I did like that match with R-Truth and LA Knight versus Carmelo and The Miz. I thought that was pretty dope. What else? As for Tiffany and versus Candice, I liked it a little bit. I just wish that Trish didn't get hurt because she is a legend. She don't deserve to get dropped by Nia Jax, but hey, that's how heels get down, But what really ruined it for me was when Liv and Raquel attacked Naomi and Bianca. Like, I felt like that was a bad end on their part, You know, not Liv and Raquel, but Naomi and Bianca, because they could have fought back. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't. To me, it should have been an all-out war. It should have been an all-out brawl. You know what I'm saying? Bianca and Naomi should have never laid down. They should have got back up and attacked them backstage when they were laughing at Nick. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't really get beat down that bad. It just had him with finishers. They could have got up. You know what I'm saying? They could have got up and beat him up backstage, but it didn't happen. And this should have happened, but it didn't. So, you know, but that's what ruined SmackDown for me, was when Liv and Raquel got away with that beating and Naomi and Bianca didn't get up and try to attack them backstage. I didn't like that. But, you know, so I give it a 6 out of 10. It was definitely mid, though. It was definitely mid. It should have been better. But I did like that segment with The Rock and Cody. I thought it was really good. Even though some people don't agree, I thought it was really good. To me, it was really good. Some people disagree, but I thought it was really good to me. So the segment was a 10 out of 10. Well, it was. I'll say 9 out of 10, just because I felt like The Rock was in the beginning was kind of lecturing, and I didn't like. And I'm like, I had to skip it to get to when Cody came out. So that was the only part I wanted to see. But I give it a 9 out of 10 because I had to skip, you know, the half of it, you know, just to get to the part when Cody and The Rock was interacting. So, but other than that, I give it a 6 out of 10. But the video is almost over, so let's go ahead and finish up.
This episode gets a way, you know what, it gets a 2 out of 10 because of that LA Knight, R-Truth, and Melo Don't Miz situation. But it gets a 2 out of 10 for that. Everything else was absolute garbage. 2 out of 10 episode. I'm going to be breaking down this Rock stuff going forward in the next few days because this is absolutely heresy, man. This is ridiculous. And I'm absolutely shocked that the final Diddy went out there and did something this embarrassing. So there you have it. SmackDown stinks. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I thank you guys so much for your support recently. Have a phenomenal day. Peace out and one love.
Hold up. Hey, we're about to listen to the prediction video from CJAX525. And we gotta see what he's gonna talk about for WrestleMania 41 for The Rock and the Roman. Hey, Cody, Bloodline. So let's go ahead and listen.
We ain't done yet. We ain't done yet. You know what I'm saying? I need you guys to hear me out in this video, bro, because things are about to get insane. Now, obviously, yesterday's SmackDown still stands as being one of the worst episodes of all time. And quite frankly, the Rock and Cody promo segment, if this video, what I'm about to say in this video, does not end up happening, this segment is going to go down as one of the worst of all time. And currently, it is one of the worst of all time. It was garbage. It was strange. It was awkward. It was weird. And the final Diddy came out and dropped an absolute stinker on the mic. Okay, and so did Cody Rhodes, even though he didn't really say much of anything, you know, as per usual, you know. Even when he's talking a lot, he's not saying anything. But the fact is, right, we are not over yet, okay? It's not over, right? I'm not throwing in the towel, even though I low-key am already, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I'm not going to say for sure, right, that The Rock is completely done with this Mania season after the Chamber. And there is a theory, a fantasy booking masterclass that I have written up for what I think could potentially come out of this Cody and Rock situation, right? This Chancellor Palpatine and Anakin Skywalker kind of situation, right? This Triple H, you know, Seth Rollins authority kind of gimmick storyline going on, right? I think that that Cody Rhodes is going to turn heel because of this storyline, right? And because of The Rock giving him an offer at more power, right? And because of this, it leaves us with questions, but at the end of the day, at least this gives Mania 41 season intrigue, a bunch of questions, confusion, and chaos, right? Last year we had chaos and confusion and a bunch of intrigue, and that at least brings some viewers and some hype back to what's happening in this Mania 41 season, which it desperately needed any sort of hype at all, right? So at the end of the day, final Diddy absolutely disappointed us yesterday, but let's talk about what's next. Stay with me and hear me out, all right? I need you guys to hear me out here, okay? Now, why would The Rock offer Cody Rhodes to genuinely join him and be his brother as he grabbed his face in the most Diddy way possible, right? How would this happen? Why would this happen? You know what I'm saying? There has to at least be something, right? I hope that this current product, even though it absolutely is garbage, I would hope that The Rock and Triple H and Cody Rhodes are not dumb enough to understand the potential story that could write itself from this specific segment, right? You can turn garbage into gold very easily from this segment, and without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into how I think that they can turn this segment into something masterful going forward. Quickly, before I get into this massive, fantasy booking rant explanation, whatever you want to call it, right? I just quickly want to say with the current product, the way it's constructed and the booking from Triple H and all this other stuff, I know The Rock can override Triple H, but the current product has given me no faith in this company literally at all, right? It's in an awful state right now, and they're probably not going to do 90% of the stuff that I'm about to say. They're probably not going to do. It's probably not going to happen, and Rock is probably going to be done for this year after Elimination Chamber. But you know what? If it continues, we'll see what happens. But again, just want a disclaimer, most of this stuff is likely not going to happen, but hopefully it does. Now, obviously, The Rock announced, right, that he's going to be at the Elimination Chamber. So what I think is going to happen, number one, is that before Elimination Chamber, which takes place in Toronto, right, next week SmackDown is going to be in Toronto as well. I think that next Friday on SmackDown, right, for starting with Raw, number one, Raw, Michael Cole, I think this Raw should announce that Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman will be on SmackDown this week in Toronto. And after this happens, Roman Reigns will return on SmackDown, obviously, in the same place that the Chamber is in, and it's going to be back-to-back, Friday, Saturday night. I think Roman will show up on SmackDown, and he will come out and he will claim to be upset with the fact that Seth Rollins put him on the shelf for for like a month, right, after the double stomp. He's upset that Cody still has the belt that is rightfully his. He's upset that The Rock, right, for example, is his own blood, but is still turning on Roman Reigns in a sense because he's siding with the enemy that they just, spent all this time fighting and feuding with over the last year or two, right? And then he says that he wants to take back what's his, but obviously due to the Rollins storyline, with the injury and the double stomp, he can't be in the Chamber. And then Heyman, right, as Roman Reigns puts the mic down and is about to walk out because he realizes he can't go in the Chamber, the Rumble's already over, he thinks he has no chance at fighting for anything for Mania. Heyman cuts one of those elite Paul Heyman, wise man promos, right? Kind of like he did before the Lesnar and Roman Mania 38 match, where he's like, I'm saying, the most diabolical, the most insane, all that stuff, performance from the tribal chief, so that they say at the end of the match, your winner, Roman Reigns. You know what I'm saying? I think Heyman will cut one of those promos saying that you are my tribal chief. The tribal chief is not going to quit and lay down because he thinks that there's no possibility or no way out of this. You will fight through and you will give us one of the most vile, most ruthless, most heinous performances as you return and rise back to the top, as a WWE champion / tribal chief. And Roman will get reinvigorated and look hype. He'll get back on the mic and says, Paul, I ain't quitting. And he'll basically say, you know what, Rock, I'll see you tomorrow, at the Chamber. And that basically teases that Roman will show up at the Chamber. And speaking of the Chamber, the Chamber, I'm saying it a million times, I can't stop thinking about Punk, and I can't stop thinking about the Chamber, and I can't stop thinking about the final Diddy. But anyways, at the Elimination Chamber, Rock and Cody are going to have their planned segment because The Rock announced he would be at the Chamber to talk to Cody Rhodes. Inside of this segment, what I think is going to happen, right, is the fact that Rock is going to basically reiterate his points that he brought up on SmackDown because he's doing a lot of repetition of what he said. Cody will look and, have a kind of a face of, I'm confused, I don't know what to do. But ultimately, before before Cody answers the question that Rock will likely ask him again, are you in or are you out? And being, basically a sidekick to the final boss. The Cody Rhodes will be about to answer. He lifts the mic up, and then you're going to hear that Roman Reigns' theme song, and Roman Reigns will walk out, pop the ones up, massive pop, will come out with the Ula Fala on, and he'll walk out to the ring, right? Roman Reigns will basically confront The Rock and confront Cody and get in both of their faces, reiterate that he wants his title back, but he's also upset with The Rock for what he's done. And because of this, as he starts to get more enraged, as he starts to speak, I think he'll get up in The Rock's face, but as he gets up in The Rock's face, bro, I think Cody Rhodes will officially turn heel. I think he'll give in and defend The Rock and save The Rock from Roman potentially attacking him and fighting him, and then that will be the official moment where The Rock piles in with Cody Rhodes and maybe stares at him as he's beating up Roman and then joins in with him too and starts stomping on Roman. They beat the crap out of him right there in the middle of the ring. Cody officially turns heel. The Rock officially sides with Cody Rhodes, and there you have it. That will basically be the moment that happens at the Elimination Chamber next weekend. And then we follow this up with the following week's SmackDown, okay? SmackDown, Roman will basically come out, right? And I think Roman Reigns will basically be absolutely pissed off, you know what I'm saying, as to what took place at the Chamber. And I think he goes out, right? He doesn't even put the ones up. His music hits, he comes out, bro, the pyro hits, and he just walks straight into the ring, right? And then he goes up there, he's yelling, he's upset, kind of similar to that promo that he cut before Mania 40, where he was like, acknowledge me, me, you know what I'm saying, all that stuff. Roman will come out absolutely insane, just irritated and extremely, irate pretty much, right? And he'll come out there and he'll call The Rock out, but The Rock doesn't show up. But he's in a video promo on screen, right? And The Rock in this video promo live on screen is basically going to be saying something on the lines of like, The Rock isn't there tonight, you know what I'm saying? But the final boss, best believe if I was there, I'd be whooping your candy A-word, you know what I'm saying? Your candy you know what, right? And The Rock would cut his signature lines, and this would piss Roman off, even more. And then Roman Reigns would basically call him like either a B-word or a coward or an absolute, whatever the heck he wants to call him, you know what I'm saying? And then basically Roman Reigns gets upset and walks off with Paul Heyman. And then at the end of the show, right, there is going to be a segment where Roman Reigns, as he's about to leave that episode of SmackDown and leave the building, bro, you just see The Rock out of nowhere come into frame and beat the heck out of Roman Reigns, bro, as Paul Heyman watches in horror, and The Rock's cursing at Paul Heyman, telling him to get the F out of the way, you know what I'm saying, all of that stuff. And then Roman Reigns, bro, gets destroyed by The Rock. Similar to how, Cody got beat up in the rain last year and was left bloodied outside, I think The Rock will beat the crap out of Roman, bro, and leave him bloodied outside potentially as well, you know what I'm saying, in the middle of the cold night, you know what I mean? And next SmackDown is in Philly too, bro, so it fits like the cold, like Philly night aesthetic too, you know what I'm saying, the SmackDown after the Chamber. So I think that would be pretty cool as well, right? So I think that would work for the next episode of SmackDown, right? An insane, epic, or memorable beatdown segment from The Rock to Roman Reigns. Then the following Raw, I think The Rock will show up to Raw and gloat about him attacking Roman Reigns and how he's the final boss and he beat the crap out of the fake tribal chief Roman Reigns, all that stuff. And then Paul Heyman will basically come out and try to defend Roman. But this is where The Rock, I think, will threaten Paul Heyman, and I think Cody Rhodes' music will hit, and Cody Rhodes might come in there and threaten Paul Heyman as well. But Cody will cut a promo tonight. This isn't really about Cody, right? This is more about Rock and Roman's story. But just to mention, I think Cody will have promos leading up to Mania, right? Because I think CM Punk is going to win the Chamber, right? But whoever wins the Chamber, Cody will basically go out and cut a promo about them or to them, right? Them two in the ring. And that basically will be the situation. I think it's going to be Punk because I'll talk about that in a little bit later. You know what I'm saying? We just getting started, right? We just getting started, right? We're going to talk about that a little bit later. So basically, Paul Heyman has to retreat because The Rock and Cody are threatening him, and he has an emotional segment backstage as, Jey Uso is there. Jey's the only one he can really run to at this point, but Jey is dealing with Gunther, so he can't really do much, you know what I'm saying, right now to help the wise man. Then the following SmackDown, which would be the 14th, no, I don't think anyone's going to show up on this show, right, because we have to be realistic. They're both heavy part-timers, right? They ain't showing up every week, so they're not going to show up on this episode of SmackDown, so we can skip that. And then the Raw's going to start their European tours, you know what I'm saying, in mid to late March. So I think that during these tours, the first Raw episode in Europe, they're obviously going to have The Rock or Roman or Cody on there. So I think The Rock will start off the show. The European crowd, I forget where they're at. I'll probably put it on the screen. I'll put the text on the screen. But wherever they're at, they're going to go absolutely insane, man. The crowd's going to lose it. The Rock will come out first, and Cody Rhodes will probably come out after The Rock calls him out, and they're basically going to be talking all kinds of trash. Cody will be talking to Punk or Cena or whoever won the Chamber, and The Rock will straight up be bad-mouthing Roman Reigns. Then whoever wins the Chamber between Punk and Cena, let's just go with Punk for this scenario. Punk will come out, and he'll have his moment on the mic where he talks trash back to Cody and Rock. And, he may bring up, like, his old promos with The Rock, right, from the build to Royal Rumble back, like, over a decade ago, 2013. And then, he might talk to Cody as well about Cody being Stardust, whatever it may be. Punk can cook on the mic, so we'll see what he does, right? And after he's doing this, The Rock and Cody basically get tired of this guy talking trash, and they basically start to attack him, right? They beat the crap out of him. And as CM Punk is getting double teamed, Roman Reigns' music hits, and Roman Reigns is back after a week or two away. You know what I'm saying? After getting destroyed by The Rock last time, Roman comes in, Superman punches The Rock, spears Cody maybe, or Superman punches Cody, and then The Rock and Cody Rhodes basically retreat and run away. Roman's the big dog standing tall, you know what I'm saying? And then basically Roman Reigns in an impassioned promo will basically call out The Rock and say he wants The Rock at WrestleMania, okay? And he cuts a great promo of just pure anger and pure rage like he did before, but this time he's claiming he wants a match. And then The Rock in a backstage segment later in the night will possibly say that he'll have Roman get his match, but only if he earns it, right? So he'll probably have a situation where The Rock has Roman fight Jacob Fatu, or maybe a returning Brunson Reed, or maybe even Cody Rhodes. You know what I'm saying? That would be a pretty cool Raw match to have, but I don't think that's too big of a match for WWE right now for them to have on a random episode of Raw. So I think the situation is that even without this, Roman doesn't really need a match to qualify just to fight The Rock, right? He's the tribal chief. It's Roman Reigns. You know, like he doesn't need this match, but it's just a potential idea, I guess. But ultimately, Roman will be calling out Rock for a match. And then backstage later in the night, we'll get Roman and Heyman and Punk basically reminding each other that they have each other's backs during this craziness, because Punk needs to beat Cody, and, you know, Punk and Roman teamed up, you know what I'm saying, for Survivor Series. Even though they didn't love it, they did it anyways because it was what was best for both of them, and they're going to have to basically do that again. So they shake hands and basically confirm, all right, we got each other's backs. We do this. On the following SmackDown, if they go with the plan of Roman needing to fight someone and win that match in order to face The Rock at Mania, then it will be Roman versus Jacob Fatu. Punk is attacked backstage earlier in the night by Cody Rhodes, so Solo Sikoa comes out because he's probably going to be feuding with Jacob Fatu by the time of like a few weeks from now, and basically Solo will come out and he'll help cost Jacob Fatu the match, or maybe, you know, help Roman in some way, but Roman ends up winning, you know, semi-clean pretty much versus Jacob Fatu, because I'm sure Fatu will be using help from Cody, so it kind of benefits out. It balances out. And because Roman wins this match, he now has an official, you know, contract signing slated for Monday Night Raw, the second Raw in the Europe tour. I forget where they're at in the second week as well, but I'll put that up on the screen as well. But wherever they're at in Europe for the second straight Raw, that is where Roman Reigns and The Rock will do their contract signing. Again, the crowd is going to be absolutely rampant during this contract signing. Roman Reigns will likely cut a Brock Lesnar-esque contract signing promo that he did like some years back, bro. You know, this is my ring, this is my microphone, this is my Ula Fala, and I earned it, right? And The Rock is like, I don't give a F about what you've earned. The final boss doesn't give a F about that, and F this, F that, F this. You know what I'm saying? The Rock's talking trash and going at Roman. You know what I'm saying? They can talk about the past, the present, the future. Just an absolutely hellacious, amazing promo segment with this contract signing, bro. Kind of like when Roman was doing the trial of the bloodline on Sami Zayn. I would expect this segment to be about as good as that, if not much better. It's The Rock and Roman. You know what I'm saying? Like, this should be pretty epic, and I'm looking forward to it. However, they agreed to some terms during this contract signing, and I think this match becomes a Bloodline Rules match, or it becomes a Tribal Combat match, or a Last Man Standing match for the Ula Fala, and I guess for power, or, hear me out, The Rock's career gets put at stake, or Roman Reigns' career gets put at stake, or both of their careers are on the line, you know what I'm saying, to add more.
Okay, sorry for pausing, but I just had to give my opinion on it. I don't think The Rock is going to put his career on the line. As the TKO, no, I don't think so. I can't see that. I just want to say that.
More stakes to this match, and to really make it feel like that big Roman Rock match that we've been wanting for many years. You know what I'm saying? So he may even, The Rock, because he's the head of the board and the final boss, he may even make Jey Uso put his career on the line versus Gunther, right? So who knows what's going to happen with that. The following SmackDown, I think we're at what now? We are at the 28th now of March, right? So we're basically at the end of March, about 3 weeks away from Mania. This SmackDown, I think, will be skipped. I don't think either one will show up on this show because, you know, like I said, they are part-timers. They're not going to be here every week. Then the following Raw, I think, will just be filler video promos from each of them, maybe an interview with Jackie Redmond or Kathy Kelly. So that'll be mostly filler. They won't be there for that. And then SmackDown, right? So this is now SmackDown. This would be what, the 4th or the 5th of April. I think that Paul Heyman will officially announce that Roman Reigns will be back the following week on SmackDown, okay? And on this night, I think Punk and Cody will have a promo, or they'll have a promo back on the Raw before this, right? And it'll turn into a brawl or something. But Punk and Cody will be having their segments and their time with Heyman throughout this process. The following Raw, which I think is like the 7th or something like that, will be skipped. Neither of them will show up on that episode, in my opinion. And then the second to last SmackDown, the penultimate SmackDown before Mania, Roman and Rock cut another hellacious and epic promo that ultimately will, I believe, turn into a brawl that involves Cody Rhodes and CM Punk as well. And it'll be a brawl that has Punk and Cody basically making Rock and Cody, or no, Punk and Roman, making Cody and Rock retreat as they win this little, makeshift brawl after their double promo, right? I think it's going to be a promo segment with Roman and what's his name? Roman and Punk going against Cody and Rock on the mic, similar to how last year it was Roman and Rock going against Cody and Rollins on the mic, you know? I think this could be absolutely fun. It would be very entertaining. It would be epic. Turns into a brawl where Roman and Punk end up winning. The following Raw, Roman and Rock skip again. And then the following SmackDown will be some filler, maybe a video segment with Heyman or some interview or some promo in the ring, something, hyping it up. And then the last Raw before WrestleMania 41, I think will be a final showing where Rock and Cody stand tall over Roman and CM Punk after another brawl segment, but at this time they absolutely destroy Roman and Punk. Just destroy them. Similar to how Roman Reigns and The Rock destroyed Cody and Rollins on the last Raw before Mania last year, just beating them up with the Mama Rhodes belts and the chairs, putting them on tables, you know what I'm saying, just brawling and beating the crap out of them. So Rock and Cody will stand tall at the end of this last Raw before WrestleMania. Similar scene to what we'll see when Rock and Roman were standing above Cody and Rollins before last year's Mania 40. So I think that will be the situation with that. And then the SmackDown will be some last minute segments. I don't think Roman will be here. Same with Rock. They weren't on the SmackDown before Mania last year, so I doubt they'll be there for this one. But you can still have some video segments and maybe some promo with Paul Heyman. And I think we'll see an interaction with Jey Uso and Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman and maybe even Solo Sikoa too, reuniting in a sense of the older bloodline, right? The OG bloodline, you know what I'm saying? And maybe they'll reunite with Jimmy too before he potentially has a U.S. title match at Mania. And it'll be like kind of like a family in-house moment, you know? This is a massive weekend for this bloodline. Let's bring some stuff back to the bloodline, you know? Let's bring some prestige, some honor, and some glory back to the bloodline, you know what I'm saying? And they all raise the ones up, and then that's that, you know, for that segment. And then we culminate it with the night one main event, Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk for the WWE Championship, in which CM Punk wins the WWE Championship. And Mania Night 2, Roman Reigns versus The Rock, with career versus career on the line, Ula Fala's on the line, Power's on the line, Honor's on the line. And if The Rock loses as well, maybe you can add in, if he loses his position as the TKO boss in storyline, right? And then after this, I think Roman Reigns in this match, bro, in this last man standing / tribal combat, you know, / bloodline rules, whatever match this is, I think it'll likely have a bunch of cameos, probably Jay as world champ, you know what I'm saying? I think he wins the world title at Mania. You know, Jimmy might get involved, Solo maybe, Fatu, Tama Tonga, etc. You know, even Sami Zayn maybe, Cody, Punk as well from night one, they'll come over, whatever may happen. There will be multiple cameos and appearances, but ultimately in this last man standing match / tribal combat / bloodline rules / you know, whatever it may be, I think in this match, bro, whether there's careers on the line, Ula Fala, careers at stake, you know, boss membership, whatever, I think Roman Reigns will win this match in the epic showdown between Rock and Roman. We'll see people, one of them going through tables, kendo sticks, chairs, Mama Rhodes belts, you know, good spots where they're using each other's finishers, right, with the spear and the rock bottom and, you know, top rope suplexes, right? You know, The Rock going through some tables, Roman going through some tables. You know what I'm saying? I think it will be that kind of match, and I think it will be epic. And the storyline in the build, and, you know, hopefully if this match goes well, no one gets hurt, it should be an absolute and utter banger, you know what I'm saying? And that is how I would book Rock versus Roman for Mania 41, based off of what we saw in yesterday's absolutely horrendous segment that may turn out to be something special. And another possibility, scenario through all of this is that kind of how you have Roman, Punk, and Heyman forming a partnership throughout this entire storyline buildup in this fantasy booking I came up with. I think you could also have John Cena play that role of Punk if he wins the Chamber, right? So instead of Punk being in all those situations, just sub in John Cena. You could get Cena and Roman working together, having an absolutely elite dap up, you know what I'm saying, in some segment or something, basically teasing the fact and showing us the fact that they're in unison for this Mania season, right? Or Roman will have a massive dap up segment with CM Punk as well, you know? It will be absolutely great if they book it in this way, in my personal opinion. But with that being said, obviously, yesterday's segment was an absolute disaster, a disappointment, and it kind of pissed me off egregiously, right? That's why I was so angry in the video yesterday, because it was absolutely ridiculous, and I do not believe that they are going to go in the exact direction that I just said. However, if they do, this Mania 41 main event with Rock and Roman, and then, you know, night one with Cody and Punk could end up being something extremely special, and I think it would be absolutely enjoyable if they played it out the way that I booked it. So that's just my opinions on it, and as usual, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. You know, what do you think about the final Diddy, you know, the final Diddler versus Roman Reigns at Mania Night 2 potentially, or what do you think about Cody versus Punk, etc.? But with that being said, that's going to wrap it up for this video, man. I thank you all so much for watching. Your support recently has been absolutely amazing. Your support just in general throughout my entire time on YouTube has been sensational. I thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a phenomenal day. And as always, peace out and one love.
Well, there you have it. So that was CJAX's prediction on The Rock and Roman Reigns. I think that would be a great prediction. I hope it comes true, but like CJAX says, everything he pretty much said about the prediction of The Rock and Roman and Cody is easier said than done based off ego and the type of writers they have. But however, we hope that it comes like that. But if it don't, well, I won't be surprised what the rating's going to be for WrestleMania 41. But the main matches I want to see, if The Rock and Roman don't work out, is Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio, Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Alexa Bliss for the women's title fatal 4-way match. I feel like if we get those matches, we'll be good. Now, as for CM Punk versus Cody, we could get that, but I still want John Cena to face Cody Rhodes. But if it ends up to be CM Punk, then fine. He is a fan favorite, but it would just be good if John Cena will win his last title, and then after that, you can have it back. Just like Trish Stratus, when she won the title against Lita and Unforgiven in 2006, she won the title and gave it back. So, win something for your retirement fund, you know what I'm saying? Retirement run. So, yeah. Well, y'all heard the prediction, and what do you guys think, man? Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think this should come true, or do you think it will come true, or do you think it's just his prediction that might come but might not, or 100% might not, so, or will not? So y'all comment down below, let me know, man. Are y'all hyped up for Roman Reigns versus The Rock? And if not, if you want to, you can listen to the prediction video one more time. You can reverse it back if you didn't hear most of it. But yeah, if you do you think that prediction will come true? Do you like it? Comment down below, let me know, and give me your thoughts. And make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share if you're new. And yeah, man, like I said, if you want to hear the prediction video one more time, just reverse and go back, and feel free to pause, feel free to save it, and share it with your friends. And yeah, man, like I said, like, comment, subscribe, share if you're new, and I'll catch you on the next video. All right. If you smell what Cup Boy is cooking, or if you smell what CJAX is cooking. But yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. All right, I'm out.